Hello everybody, welcome to various Oddities Showcase, and this time I'm actually on a server because, well, this kind of bears showing off on a server, just to sort of like get you around the concept and such. So last time I mentioned that I'd been working on the magic system a bunch, and this week we do have one or two new mobs that are still in need of textures and all sorts, and don't really have any AI, so hopefully we'll see more of them next week. But this week, I do in fact have more to show on the magic system. So if I... Okay, I have now got all of the inscribers inks, I've got some paper, I've got a slime ball, and I've got 12 levels. And that is because this UI is now perfectly functional. So I can shift-click things, and nothing crashes or destroys me, and you cannot shift-click into these slots. That's significant, and you'll find out why in a hot minute. Now, the recipes for different spells are completely randomized. They are now stored on the server, and they are beamed across to the client, both when you connect and, again, whenever you open this window. So, let me see if I can... Hopefully, apparently I can remember something. The Scroll of Invisibility. Well, that's fine. Okay, well, as we can see, that has XP 8, which means it will take approximately 8 levels to actually craft. If I didn't have 12 currently, this would be a different color, and I wouldn't be able to extract this scroll, but that's not the one I'm looking for. So let me just see if I can actually get the right one. And this would be helpful if I could have the slightest bit of recollection on what it is in this particular world. But there's only 9, so I guess I can just cycle through eventually and find it. Anyways, what I'm looking for is in fact the combination for the Scroll of Slow. And again, I'm not terribly certain I remember at all what that is, but I think it's 1111... Yeah. Well, anyways, what these slots are for, you can put things in here when there's nothing here, it just doesn't do anything. What these slots are for is for reagents. So, if I had managed to remember the combination for the Scroll of Slow, it would request that I had a slime ball in that slot, and if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to make the Scroll of Slow, and it would use up the slime ball if I did. And that is significant, because different spells are going to have some degree of memorability to their combinations, and that might be that a particularly fiery spell will have 3 different slots that are red ink, which will make them significantly easier to find. The way then that it still manages to gate how quickly you can get access to those spells is based on the particular ingredients in these 4 slots, as well as how much of them, and as well, you saw it there, the XP. Now, currently the recipe for how much XP you require is 4.4 recurring times the spell level, which is currently just an internal value. That'll be displayed later on, but it's currently just internal. And most of our spells are 4th level or lower, so the highest you're generally likely to find is right now is about 16 or so. And that allows us to actually actually gatekeep, but not necessarily completely blockade you from making higher power spells early on in the game. You can, of course, access a lot of things just by making a big old XP farm and grinding that and all sorts, and then you'll be pretty much good to go. But it will nonetheless be an investment. We've tried to make it so that these are not easy to come by, but are not impossible to come by. Nonetheless, of course, we expect that given a mod pack environment, there'll going to be like 10,000 different ways to get to like level 50, and then it'll be kind of trivial to spend, say, 36 or so levels on making a 9th level spell. We understand this, but that is chiefly what I have to show off today. The next thing to discuss, of course, is I think I've mentioned this in the last video, is that there will be a means to check what the combination of a given spell is. We are going to be adding a tile entity that is a block, suffice to say, sort of like the lectern in more recent versions of Minecraft, but ours it'll be some kind of inscriber's table or some such. We'll see about that as it goes forward. And that will have a slot approximately, we'll say here, into which we can dump a pre-existing scroll, or spellbook, or wand, and it will automatically set the combination here to show us exactly what the combination of that is without us actually having to remember it, like I just tried and failed. So, if you like it, there's me being a perfect example of why that particular block is going to be helpful. That block will also have an inventory, so you'll be able to insert all of the inks and the paper, and you can just right-click, open it, insert whatever thing you want to check up, and then just add the reagents and pay your XP. And can I actually get a spell out of here again? I think I could. Yeah, there we go. So as we can see, I've lost 8 levels there. That's not a precise value. That is an estimate on levels, but it's actually total experience points it goes by. So expect there to be a little bit of fuzz on how much you actually lose down here. But having it as levels is just a bit more readable for the player because nobody sees their experience point total. But yeah, so as we can see, this particular one does not require any components, which is nice to see. And I do not have more enough to actually take that, but it's a little bit buggy as to right now and whether or not that works. But I'm still working on it. There's 1 or 2 bugs I still need to quash, but this should be ready for the next beta version. So with that, I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all as ever next time.